Strip away the technology, and humans are a vulnerable species. We lack the armor, speed, or lethal claws required to survive an apex predator. Yet, we are the ones who pave over the planet's surface, harvest extreme energy, and build structures that pierce the clouds. This presents a biological paradox. For millions of years, early humans sat squarely in the middle of the food chain, scavenging marrow and gathered plants while hiding from larger carnivores. How did we jump to the absolute top so quickly? Traditional history struggles to answer this. Memorizing lists of kings, dates, and ancient wars doesn't explain the physical mechanics of this ascent. To understand our modern dominance, we have to look past the written records and investigate the evolutionary anomalies that broke us out of the natural order. In his book Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari provides a framework that fuses biology and history to analyze the human operating system. The biological baseline starts here. 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens were unremarkable animals, minding their own business in Africa, possessing no more significance to the ecosystem than gorillas or elephants. Then, in an evolutionary blink of an eye, we expanded across the globe, outcompeted all other human species, and drove massive megafauna to extinction. This global takeover happened without a single change to our physical anatomy. It was driven by a silent transformation in human cognition. Lions and sharks reached the top over millions of years, allowing the ecosystem to develop checks and balances. Sapiens jumped to the peak so quickly that the world had no time to adapt, and neither did we. We are like banana republic dictators, full of the anxieties of an underdog that suddenly found itself in charge. Sapiens rule the world for one specific reason. We are the only animal capable of cooperating flexibly in massive, unlimited numbers. Bees and wolves cooperate, but their methods are rigid and limited to close relatives. Human mass cooperation works because we alone can invent and believe in shared fictions. Traces of this leap were left by our ancestors. 30,000 years ago, an early human blew red pigment over their hand on a cave wall. This "I was here" scaled into myths, stories binding strangers in a common cause. The invisible glue holding together every human tribe, ancient city, and modern empire has never been physical strength. It is the collective imagination of the masses. Fast forward to the modern era, and our global institutions operate on the exact same mythical mechanics as those ancient tribal spirits. Take a modern corporation. A brand like Peugeot exists strictly as a legal fiction in our collective minds, entirely separate from the physical metal and rubber it produces. If a disaster wiped out every physical Peugeot factory and every single employee disappeared tomorrow, the company would still legally exist on paper, ready to borrow money and hire a new workforce. Human rights, justice systems, and the laws governing entire nations function the exact same way. They are intersubjective myths, ideas that exist only because millions of people simultaneously agree to believe in them. These imagined orders are the essential operating systems required to keep millions of humans from collapsing into chaos. Since the cognitive revolution, sapiens have been forced to navigate life trapped inside a dual reality. The first layer is the objective, physical world. It consists of the things you can touch: rivers, trees, lions, and the biological necessities of survival. The second layer is the imagined world, the domain of credit scores, corporate ladders, and national borders. Over millennia, this imagined reality gained so much power that the survival of objective reality, actual rivers and trees, now depends entirely on our fictional corporations and laws. The friction of modern life comes directly from this matrix. We are still biological apes, struggling to survive inside a highly complex web of our own fictions. Over the course of this series, we will map the three major revolutions that built this modern matrix: the cognitive, agricultural, and scientific revolutions. We will strip away the academic jargon to reveal the actual mechanics behind human power, the invention of money, and the rise of capitalism. Everything around you right now exists simply because millions of strangers collectively agree to believe in it all. To understand how this matrix was built, we have to look at the exact moment humanity used abstract thought to break out of the food chain. Click the video on your screen right now to begin exploring the cognitive revolution.